450 million lie. AI startup collapse, investor fraud in India. Now, these headlines raised around May 2025, right? The story behind it. Builder.ai, a UK founded startup valued over $1.5 billion, raised hundreds of millions. Now, by claiming a revolutionary AI code generation, its founder even claimed himself as the chief wizard, promising to build apps 6 times faster and 70% cheaper than a normal development company would do. They marketed a virtual assistant called Natasha that could make software development as easy as ordering a pizza. Now, investors did fell for it. But behind the scene was a massive fraud being played. In reality, Natasha was just theatrics. A scandalous expose on May 29, 2025 via a viral X thread revealed Builder AI was 700 software developers in Delhi, each answering the coded request for the apps. Internal Slack leaks show staff using lines like Natasha is optimizing your request while they manually wrote the code. Now that was the scam. Meanwhile, Builder.ai's financials were even fabricated, guys. Even the investigations uncovered a massive round tripping scheme on the Verse Innovation, the Indian media app company. Now, each invoiced the other hundreds of millions for non existent services, inflating both companies' revenue by 300%. This paper shuffling made it look like Builder.ai had hundreds of millions in sales. When the auditors financially checked, they found real 2024 revenue was only 55 million, not the $220 million pipeline claimed. A financial house of cards which were being played had just fallen flat. Now, by early 2025, I would say, Builder.ai had burned through its cash and its debt stacked up. About $115 million owed, including $85 million to AWS, $35 million to Microsoft. Guys, crucially, they operated without a chief financial officer for 10 months. A Wall Street Journal styled investigation later called this managerial malpractice. In February 2025, the founder Sachin Dev Duggal actually stepped down. He had to, but he still kept the board seat and the grand title. And the Jungle Ventures Manpreet Rathia took over. Now, Rathia immediately discovered the catastrophe beneath the actual hype. The collapse happened suddenly in mid-May. Lender Vila Credit, which had actually lent $50 million, discovered all these breaches in the loan covenant. They seized $37 million, leaving only $5 million in the frozen accounts. Now, with no runway, Builder.ai had to file for insolvency. On May 20th, the new CEO announced bankruptcy, triggering layoffs across all offices. The LinkedIn notice quietly confirmed Builder.ai, rebranded as Engineer.ai, was entering insolvency proceedings. Investors, including Qatar Investment Authority, who poured around $250 million 2 years prior, Microsoft, Insight Partners, $165 million, and even SoftBank-backed funds were just wiped out of the company. Now, thousands of client projects grounded to a halt at this moment. Over 500 employees even lost their jobs, many of them who believed in the AI promise. Now, the Builder.ai story triggered shockwaves around the startup world. It was aptly called the Thurons of AI, drawing the comparison to WeWork and the other hype startups. But it's not an isolated tale in India, guys. We are seeing it every other day. Other startups have self-imploded on the similar weak foundations. Now, Go Mechanics in 2023, the co-founder admitted in a public post that they got carried away chasing the growth and committed grave errors in their financials. The second startup would be Trell, which was in 2022. The influencer commerce app faced a forensic audit for related party transaction by its founder, stalling over $100 million funded, leading to a layoff. Now, these examples underscore a very visible pattern. Explosive claims plus poor governance is equal to disaster. Now, spotting the early red flags is the key. What warning signs did Builder AI display, and how can you avoid similar trap? Now, seasoned investors advise looking for inconsistencies and overblown claims. For instance, the magic AI without any proof. If a startup claims revolutionary AI, ask for demos and patents, guys. Builder.ai touted its AI Natasha everywhere but had zero ML patent and 100% human coded output. The red flag was that there was no technical documentation or a lack of qualified AI engineer on the team itself. The second is inflated metrics. Look critically at the user counts or the revenues. Check for third party verification, analytics, reference, unrealistic growth that outpaces the industry norms deserves scrutiny. I cannot stress that enough. Number three is missing finance leadership. If a startup has no chief financial officer or has a tiny accounting team for its size, beware. Builder.ai literally ran for 10 months with no chief financial officer during the critical stage of growth. That's a ganging governance hole. Number fourth is round trip or related party deals. Any big one-way payment between network of companies should be red flag. Builder.ai collusion with the Verse company is a classic round tripping to fake the revenue. The next point has to be the secretive communication. Now, for example, forcing developer to hide their identities or delaying the product information as Builder AI did is a bad sign. Whistleblowing or investigative reports like the one that went viral in this case often expose these. In short, guys, watch for inconsistent storytelling. If the marketing spin instant app building AI doesn't match the messy facts, the manual coding, unpaid bills, dig deeper. Investor due diligence is the key. Talk to customer, check code, servers if possible, and verify the financial statements with independent audits. In the next segment, let me just tell you what you can do for protecting your startup internally. Now, founders must also guard their own companies against the frauds, governance, and the breakdowns. What does these key steps include? Number one is strong financial controls. Never go months without a proper finance head and audit. Establish a monthly and close and regular internal reviews. Even early on, hire a qualified accountant or build a finance committee or a finance team. Number two is transparent metrics. Share realistic KPIs with the employees and the investors. If you meet financial projections without fudging, trust builds. Now, third is the board oversight. Assemble a board with independent members or investors' representations. They can catch governance issue if you might miss. Proactively schedule boards updates and be ready to answer tough questions on tech and cash. Number four is the whistleblower channels. Encourage employees to report unethical behavior, maybe anonymously. Globally, 43% of fraud is uncovered by tips. Now, if someone notices a suspicious email or odd payment request, they should feel safe reporting up. Number five is the legal compliance culture. Make ethics a part of startups' DNA, guys. Define clear conflict of interest, policies for founders and advisors. Regularly train your team on what's allowed. For example, no kickbacks, no lying to customers, etc. In this next segment, I would want to talk about the new safeguards in the term sheets. Now, in wake of Builder AI's savvy investor and lawyers are tightening the deal documents. So if you're raising money now, expect tougher clauses that protects everyone. Number one is bad lever clauses. Modern term sheets define bad lever events, that is like frauds, dishonesty, criminal acts. Now, if a founder is later found to have lied or misbehaved, they can be forced out and have their shares repurchased at a nominal price. Number two is founder warranties. Now, founder now often personally guarantee the accuracy of the key data. Lawyers advise that founders should personally stand behind the warranties on the financials and especially the technology. If a founder knowingly misrepresents, they can be sued or criminally liable, as we have seen. Next is the veto and the consent rights. Now, investor will demand veto power on major decisions. For example, requiring board seat or investor consent before taking on large debt or issuing new shares, hiring the key people or even doing any deal with the insiders. Now, this prevents sudden risky moves or the hidden related party contracts within the organization. The next pointer is governance milestones. Now, some funding tranches can be tied to the compliance goals. For example, release the next tranche only after completing a third-party audit or hiring a CFO or obtaining a clean certificate from lawyers. Now, this links to valuation transparency, not just to the growth of the startup. The next point is audit and inspection rights. Now require regular financial statements and audits by a reputed firm once the company grows. Investors may also reserve the right to inspect the books and record the short notice. Now, in practical terms, negotiate for these protections and understand them yourself as a business owner. A sound term sheet includes escrow of a portion of founders' shares or indemnity provisions if a fraud is later uncovered. In the second last segment, let me just give you some key legal takeaways from Builder.ai fallout. Indian entrepreneurs should note several legal pillars. Number one is the Indian Contract Act, fraud and misrepresentation. Under Section 17, fraud is any deliberate deception, false promises, concealing facts, etc., which is used to induce a contract. Under Section 18 of the Contract Act, it defines misrepresentation, which is innocent false statements made without the intent to deceive. Now, a contract entered under fraud is voidable at the victim's option. In practice, this means investors who were lied to can resign the contract and sue for damages. Number two is always be truthful, guys. Any false statement in an investment memo might be legally considered as a fraud. Now, under the Bharatiya Nyaya Samiti, which is the new criminal code prevailing in India, which was enacted in December 2023, it consolidates cheating and breach of trust laws. Notably, Section 318 now encompasses all forms of cheating and it carries up to 3 to 5 years in jail for deceiving someone. In short, knowingly cooking the books and taking money fraudulently can be punished as a criminal offense. Investors or the government can now invoke these sections against the founders. The next point is the SEBI and the regulatory oversight, and I cannot stress it enough. While SEBI mainly regulates the public market, it increasingly focuses also on the startup funding practices. For example, SEBI knew that the disclosure norms, that is ICDR rules 2025, and the guidelines for alternate investment funds require stricter due diligence and disclosure from the fund managers. Now, if fraud affects a listed company or its filing, SEBI can immediately step in as it did in BharatPay's case. Now, promoters caught in wrongdoing may find themselves banned for or penalized under the SEBI rules. Even entrepreneurs should note that raising money via certain schemes like public offers or crowdfunding bring you under the SEBI's investor protection ambit. Therefore, the SEBI can even regulate an unlisted company. The next point has to be asset recovery and insolvency. Now, victims of the startup fraud can use civil as well as the insolvency as one of the remedies under the Indian laws. Under India's Insolvency and the Bankruptcy Code, an administrator can challenge the fraudulent or preferential transactions and claw back the money. Creditor can file recovery suits or insolvency petition as the Voila Credit did. Now, in these cases, court may also attach directors' personal assets if proven for the fraud. While the asset recovery is complex, one key is documentation. Make sure that investor agreements include clauses on remedies and preserves all the evidence, emails, contracts, logs, so any deceptive transfers can be unwounded. In sum, lying in business isn't just bad ethics, it's legally dangerous. Now, I've already told under the BNS there are several sections that can penalize you. SEBI rules would mean there are real criminal and civil consequences for the deceptive startup. Now, future investors are expecting to rely on these laws when they spot misrepresentations. In this last segment for the video, I'll be telling you 5 things that every entrepreneur must do post the Builder AI scam. Number 1 is rerun your metrics. Now double check on all the public and internal numbers. Ensure user stats, revenues, costs are accurate and documented. If needed, get an external audit or validation. Number 2 is strengthen the governance. Appoint a credible chief financial officer or a finance head, even part-time guys. Create an audit committee or advisory board. Commit to monthly financial reviews. Now, good controls prevent even honest mistakes from becoming the disasters. Number 3 is enhance the transparency. Share realistic roadmaps and challenges with your team and investors. Maintain clear records, minutes of the board meeting, written customer commitments, etc. Now, if there's a problem, like for example, declining sales, cost overruns, inform the stakeholders, make that transparency. Number 4 is revise the legal agreements. Now, update your term sheets and shareholder pacts to include modern protections, bad lever, warranties, veto rights that I've already spoken about. Now get legal advice for the indemnities and the misrepresentation. Make sure that the employment contract includes clauses on confidentiality and fraud. Number 5 is educate your team, and I say it in every video. Now run internal training on ethics and compliance. Emphasize that fraud, even of a small size, will not be tolerated. Encourage whistleblowing and have a plan for investigating tips. The Builder.ai fiasco is a stark warning. No matter how enticing the story, due diligence and integrity must never be sacrificed. Tech hype isn't worth bankruptcy and jail, guys. Entrepreneurs should lean on hard data, strong legal contracts, and open governance. That's the real recipe for a sustainable success of any business. I hope you found this video little knowledgeable. Share it with someone who might need it. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you like the content.